Hello world and welcome to another episode of Questions in Gaming. That's right, today I'm covering FNAF for the first time, and thankfully I'm not doing lore, we're doing sciencey stuff, kind of. Which makes my job a lot easier, and means I don't get to go insane within like the first 3 videos on this channel. Haha, I'm gonna go insane probably. Today, I'm asking the question about Five Nights at Freddy's. Who is the strongest Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic? We're going to go through the games, and the way I'm going to set this up is we're going to go through each FNAF game, and I'm going to pick who I think the winner of each game would be. Then, at the end, I'm going to come together and we're going to make a big comprehensive list on who the strongest FNAF animatronics are across the entire series. Also, I might do another one of these later down the line that's a bit smaller, where I'll have you guys vote on who y'all think the number one animatronic is. So, who knows? Either way, for FNAF 1, we need to go through all the animatronics, so let's go in order. First up is the bear himself, Freddy Fazbear. Freddy has a lot of teeth and he's big, but that's also a good argument for pretty much every animatronic. All of these things probably could kill a human, so we're going to have to go off, could Freddy take another animatronic? He's kind of the benchmark, though, to me, where, like, Freddy, he doesn't have anything that helps him fight. I mean, on the camera system, it's hard to keep note of Freddy, because he doesn't make sound, really. Well, he does make sound, that's all he makes. He doesn't appear in the doors. So Freddy is more stealthy than Bonnie or Chica, which, sadly for Bonnie and Chica fans, you guys are not going to be winning this. Bonnie is basically just a big rabbit. I don't know how, like, he has a guitar, I'll give him that. Bonnie has a actual potential weapon. He could throw the guitar. He could hit someone with it. Chica, if this is the FNAF movie, she has the cupcake, which could do serious damage, but realistically, she doesn't have that. And the cupcake, if anything, would count as its own separate character. So, for both of them, while I get how they might put up a fight, I don't think either of them are going to necessarily be winning in this scenario. Now, you could make the argument about the souls, how Bonnie's the only one that put up a fight against Springtrap, yada yada yada. If you don't understand the reference, read the books. Basically, all you need to know is that in the books, all of the animatronics' deaths are described, and Bonnie's the only one that actually put up a fight technically, so some might argue that Bonnie's the only one that would put up a fight. If you want to say that, sure, that's fair, I guess. I'm not going to debate you on that. If you want to say in the books Bonnie's the strongest, I'll agree. But I don't think in the games he is. I'm sorry. Which kind of just leaves Freddy as the default, except Foxy exists, and he has a hook, and he's faster. So I know it's kind of boring to say it, but Foxy kind of just clears everyone in this scenario. No one else really. Everyone has a chance at beating him in the same way that everyone has a chance of beating anyone. No one has an advantage against Foxy. He exclusively has an advantage against others. Yes, also, before anyone mentions it, I'm aware Endo exists. No, I don't care. That's all I'm going to say about him. Listen, he just has less protection. I'm sorry. His most iconic moment is me forgetting that he exists half the time. And I think the entire FNAF fan base agrees with this statement. So, yeah. If you want to say Endo, in my opinion, you're wrong. I'm sorry. He's the only one that I cannot make a good argument for. If you want to say Chica as the cupcake, sure. Bonnie in the books, sure. Freddy, you know, I he has a microphone. He like I don't know what the Freddy argument would be actually. Well, I guess stealthy. Yeah, he could sneak attack, sure. Foxy, he's objectively the strongest in a way. He's faster and has a hook. So he's just quicker. which is a big thing in a fight. Now, Foxy is withered, kind of, so I guess you could use that against him. I don't know how. I will also mention Golden Freddy. I don't know how to really gauge Golden Freddy. On one end, Golden Freddy could clear anyone. On the other end, we don't know how Golden Freddy works. Golden Freddy is the biggest question mark in this entire thing to me. Because on one end, you could say it can't move, really. On the other end, you could say it literally can teleport and keeps people in purgatory, essentially, via Ultimate Custom Night. We don't know how that works. I'm gonna assume that that's not a he can do it dash she can do it on command. So I'm sorry, Golden Freddy. You have an argument. You might honestly be it, but I'm not gonna give it to you. I'm sorry. So for FNAF 1, Foxy is the winner. Now then, FNAF 2, you have the toy animatronics such as Toy Freddy, Chica, Bonnie. These three all have about the same level in my opinion. They're all plastic. They're all a little upgraded though, but they're also smaller. I mean, these kind of seem like the easier ones to be, honestly. They're just not made of the same material. They were made to be easier to play with children, pretty much. But they do have the facial recognition, so who knows? Maybe they have a few extra tricks up their sleeves. The Wizards also, this is where it gets tough. All of the Withered animatronics are just bigger, but they also all have issues. Freddy doesn't really have any issues, and Foxy's at about the same level that he was in the last game, although Freddy also got a size upgrade, which is notable, because he is significantly larger than Foxy now. Chica doesn't have arms, so I'm sorry, Withered Chica, but you do not win. And Bonnie is missing an arm and a face. So I'm sorry, Bonnie, but I don't think you're going to win, although you could win most terrifying. Haha, please don't kill me. Anyway, I would say that this could go between Withered Foxy or Withered Freddy. If you value Foxy's speed more than Freddy's significant height advantage, that's fair. But then you also have a few other animatronics that are in the running, specifically the Puppet, which is another Golden Freddy situation, and also Withered Golden Freddy. But I'm going to group these two together and say we don't really know what they can really do. So it feels kind of cheap. If we're using the magic argument or whatever they have, sure, I'll give it to them. You can decide which of the two is more powerful. But I'm just going on a pure who is the strongest, not who has magic. So there's also the balloons, aka Balloon Boy and JJ, and also Dee Dee, I guess, if we want to throw FNAF World in this. Either way, all three of these are pretty puntable in my opinion. You know, I feel like I could line them up, and as a 17-year-old, I could literally kick them like across a sizable like amount of space. Like it doesn't look like they're too dense. Like they just steal your batteries. There's not a whole lot of fighting in them, respectfully. Now, then there's also Mangle and Endo 2. Again, I don't care. I'm sorry, Endo 2. But Mangle is a bigger issue because Mangle is huge technically, and Mangle also might have a canonical kill. We're not sure. We kind of just assume that Mangle did the bite of 87, but we don't know for sure. So I won't give he-she that advantage of a cannon kill, but still, huge, can climb on walls. It's basically just Foxy, but it can climb on walls. It's not necessarily faster, but still. I'm going to give it to Mangle over Withered Freddy or Withered Foxy. If you wanted to say either of those two over Mangle, that's fair. Withered Foxy is basically just Foxy again, and Withered Freddy is basically they just buffed Freddy by like a mile. So, you know, fair enough, but I'm going to be giving the win to Mangle. Now, before I get into FNAF 3, I am going to have to ask you all to subscribe. If you're watching this far into the video, it would help a lot. This channel has like 4 subs. I try to do weekly videos. Helps out a lot. If you check the description, you will find 2 other channels that I currently run. One of them is Questions in Cinema. It's basically this, but with your favorite shows, primarily indie animation. And you'll also find a Minecraft gaming channel, because why not? I like Minecraft. I play it a lot. Go watch those videos if you're interested. Please subscribe to all 3 channels. I'm not going to ask you to like the video and turn on notifications. I would like you to comment, because I would like video ideas. And that's one of the big things that I want to do. I want to listen to your questions and not just my own. So if you would mind taking a couple of seconds out of your day and just typing a question that you have about a video game, I might cover it in the future. Hopefully I'll get to cover all of them one day. Next up, FNAF 3, it's Springtrap. I'm sorry. There's not really a whole lot of competition, though. So, FNAF 3 has the Phantom animatronics, which aren't real. They're illusions. It's pretty directly, like, they jump scare you, and you have to reset your ventilation because they're illusions. You're imagining them killing you. The only real one is Springtrap. Some people will say that Golden Freddy is real. If you want to say that, sure. Springtrap has canon kills, though. So, unless you're using the magic argument, I'd still give it to Springtrap in this scenario. Even then, with how many times he has died, Springtrap may as well have magic, because he basically has plot armor and he's the villain. So, you know. We'll give it to Springtrap pretty easily in this scenario. FNAF 3 just doesn't have a whole lot of competition. This is one of the easier ones to decide. And FNAF 4. Now, we have to deal with the nightmares in this situation. So, Nightmare Freddy has the Freddles, or I don't know what they're called. Freddles? I think that's right. They have the mini Freddys. So, he has an army pretty much. Foxy has Snake Tongue. Chica has a Cupcake, which, again, a little mini army. Bonnie is just Bonnie but scary. And then there's Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare, who easily clear anyone else here unless you want to use the Nightmare Freddy argument of strength and numbers, sure. Then you also have to deal with the Halloween DLC. Jacko Bonnie, Jacko Chica, Nightmare Mangle, Nightmare Balloon Boy, and also Nightmare Yawn all have the similar arguments to whoever they're supposed to represent in the actual game. Also, you could say Plush Trap, but I think Plush Trap and Nightmare Balloon Boy, sadly, are both not really in this. Nightmare Balloon Boy has a lot of sharp teeth, so if you want to use that, sure, I guess. It really comes down to Nightmare, Nightmare Fredbear, or Nightmare Yawn. And then you remember Illusion Disc exists, meaning none of these animatronics are real. So, yeah. I don't know, like, none of the animatronics in FNAF 4 are technically real, so if you want to use the argument, you could say Nightmare Fredbear represents the accident, Nightmare, and Nightmare Yawn also represent death. So, they're kind of important, you know, they're kind of the representations of pretty major events and literal death, but none of them are real. So, like, you'd win, because if they killed you, unless you're on your deathbed, it won't really do nothing. So, yeah. The only animatronic that is real in FNAF 4 is Spring Bonnie and Fredbear from the minigames. And in this situation, it's pretty easy to see where I'm going to go with this. Fredbear has a cannon kill, and we can see that he can literally chomp a child's frontal lobe off. So I think he could probably chomp mine. I'm 17. This thing would scare me. Basically, Fredbear clears. because no one else is actually able to hurt someone technically. Again, unless you're on your deathbed, I guess, which if you are, then you could give it to Nightmare or Nightmarion, or any of them really. But it's pretty much Fredbear, and Spring Bonnie's also there. If you wanted to be different, he's there. He's an option. I guess Purple Guy, he's in the mini game. He's realistically helping someone put on a suit, but some people think he's killing a kid. If you want to say that, sure. Still would give it to Fredbear over him, though. So yeah, basically Fredbear clears. But sadly, this is where I'm going to have to end the video. Listen, this video is already getting actually kind of long for me, and I want to do this in multiple parts. So in part 2, I'm going to be covering Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, FNAF 6, FNAF World, briefly, Ultimate Custom Night, briefly, and the Help Wanted games. And also, I'll try to cover Security Breach, although I could see this end up being a 3-parter. I'm sorry if it is. Again, please subscribe. It helps out a lot. I'll try to get part 2 out not next week, but the week after. So next week you guys will have a video and then FNAF. If it ends up being a 3-parter, then that's how I'm going to do it. Once part 2 comes out, you'd have some video and then part 3, if it happens. I don't know if part 3 is going to happen. I know part 2 is going to happen. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, good day, whenever you're watching this. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.